There we are. So, yes, welcome everyone, and especially welcome to our hero of the hour, as we say. Um, this is going to be my little Mutants and Masterminds game idea. If you don't know the concept already, for any listeners out there, then it's pretty simple. We're going to be doing some one-shots where it's just the person and me, and then we're going to start bringing people together for games of Mutants and Masterminds. And I've not really done this before, but neither has Malk, so no one will know the difference.
It's going to be a bit of a learning experience for the both of us.
That it is. But, oh well, fun times ahead. At least that is the aim of it all. Yes. So, instead of introducing the character, I'd like to get straight into it, if that's okay.
Sure.
Because what I'd like to do is bring you back to the moment where you first, well, I suppose it would be appropriate to say, got given your powers. That night, along the riverbank. What were you doing out there that night?
So I was walking home after a late day studying, kind of just like sticking to the riverside in the street lights. You know, it's quite dark. Kind of focused on my phone, not really paying attention to my surroundings. And yeah.
And at that point, you just hear the sound of thunder in the distance. You know, crackling, just snapping of lightning. But it's strange because the sky isn't lighting up as you'd think it would be. And there's a spray that's coming off the river. It's just, you know, it's kicking up around you, and you see among the spray these flashes of light. What would you like to do?
I guess like I'll kind of peer into the distance, maybe kind of grab some cover. If the water's whipping up kind of into my face in a spray, then maybe shift away from the river a little bit.
Yeah, it's acting like it's in a high wind, but there's nothing around. But there is a spray just everywhere. It's so you can take cover, and you're still keeping an eye on this.
Yeah, I want to see if I can figure out what's creating all this fuss.
Well, it's certainly interesting. You're a scientist, aren't you? You're studying
Medicine.
Medicine, yes.
Medicine.
Not exactly your field, but come on, the inquisitive mind, and yeah, you know, as you gaze out to it, it's almost like a small personal storm is riding up the river down Pellbank City. It's kind of shooting this gathering cloud of spray and just like crackling energy. It looks like lightning in just in a bottle, but it's sitting low. It's sitting on the river itself. You know, and it's very different. And you see the occasional flash of something else, not the same kind of lightning energy. It's a red, certainly very, very fiery red in there, as if it's perhaps it's a fire. Maybe it's a fire down there. Could you roll me a perception if you have any?
Yes. Hold on, I gotta get to the dice roller. Or a dice roller. So again, first time playing. So to roll an ability score, it's just a d20 plus my rank in a skill or ability, yes?
Yes, the total, so ability plus rank, because you have 2 ranks, 2 in ability, and 6 ranks, because you're quite perceptive.
Okay, so
plus 8, that's quite a good score. That is a plus 8.
Okay. So that's an 11.
Sorry, where are you rolling this, sorry?
Just in a roll 20 I have available.
Oh, are you not using our roll 20?
I don't know where to find it.
It's pinned in the channel. Oh well, so okay. We'll go with yours for now.
Yes.
Like I will entirely trust my players, mostly because it's cool. You do what you do. But yes, and so
yes.
So what was the score? Sorry.
11 was that roll.
11, right? You can't really make out what's going on down there. certainly some kind of strange phenomenon. It's, a whipping and twisting, and maybe it'd be worth getting a closer look. You're certainly not able to see anything from here.
I might kind of crouch down and rush up to kind of the railing
Mm.
that's against the riverside, and kind of see if I can peer down into the river, and kind of down to where this light show is happening.
Certainly you can, and the closer you get, the more kind of you notice that the arm, on your arms, the hair start to just raise up as as like static electricity seems to be getting to you, kind of thing. It's enough that when you touch the railings of the along the riverside, you get a little bzz as you touch the edge, as the static in the air seems to be enough to cause a little shock between the two of you. As you're down there, you can think you see at least one figure, mostly because the figure is not in the middle of this spinning. It appears to be like a little tornado almost down there. It's a like spinning mass of electricity and water and spray and air that's all going around there. That's it's twisting and having little shocks through it, and as if it's the most normal thing in the world. There appears to be a person that's standing. It looks like they're standing, but maybe they're hovering. It's not quite right. And Palbank City is a strange city, but they're hovering.
It's not totally unusual, but they're hovering in the middle of a vortex. Yes.
Well, it's to the side of the vortex. That's the thing. This
side of the vortex.
Then they appear to be watching the vortex, and they're laughing. Yeah, that's. You thought it might be screaming for a moment because of the really weird kind of context, but yeah, they're certainly laughing, and they just kind of seem to be talking to the vortex. It's damn near impossible to hear over the lightning and the thunder and the whipping of the winds. You can attempt if you want.
I think I will. I think I'll try and strain myself and hear over the.
You will be placing yourself close to the edge here. Like you're by doing this, you're starting to lean very, very nearby.
I think at this point it's caught my interest, and like I'm kind of caught up in the energy of it all. Kind of the adrenaline's rushing through. I'm starting to feel a little bit hyped up. So yeah, I'll kind of lean over the railing and see if I can hear what's going on.
Give me a perception check, if you will.
Okay, lovely. Perception is... so it's perception plus awareness, or is it just...
it will be
perception?
plus 8 ranks. Because it's...
Okay, plus 8 ranks.
Yeah. It's your perception, like the amount of points you put into it, and your awareness ability...
is already factored into that.
Yeah, it's already factored.
Gotcha. Okay. So there's that. So 23.
23, a lot better, yeah. You are able to get close to this, just to the maelstrom. Thankfully, whoever it is who appears to be hovering down there, you can kind of make them out. It's very odd. You seem to be seeing almost two people at once, but you can't locate one of them. You just see them at the flashes of the corner of your eyes. But certainly this one is hovering there and doesn't seem to be with wings, doesn't seem to be flying, just standing there a couple of inches above the water, and you can hear what appears to be the end of a conversation.
Okay.
Sorry for a sec. His voice kind of hissing out across the darkness to you, caught between the wind and the lightning. And you hear... is all you can do. There is a moment where they seem to raise a hand, and just a wave of fire rolls across the water itself. Seem to catch hold of it like oil as it just ignites instantly. But the moment it does, you can see that's why the spray is kicking up everywhere. It's dispersing the fire. It gets knocked away and into the air and just fizzles out immediately. As this person seems, as this, yes, it's the person. It's that you can see whenever they seem to stop for a second. When you catch that glimpse of this second person, the spray and the fire just disappears almost instantly. They seem to be keeping it from lighting on this river from lighting on fire. You can't exactly hear the response, but you do just hear this again, this peal of laughter from this strange figure that's throwing fire out. I can't even toy with you. Well, maybe. And you see as these glowing eyes through the darkness turn and focus directly onto you.
Oh shit. Oh god.
There's a moment where everything seems still, and the figure raises a hand. There's no fire though. Instead, what you find is the floor beneath you bubbling, burning at your feet as it touches what bare leg there is standing there. It seems to be that the wall itself beneath you is melting. And as you start getting just dragged down into the river as this wall starts collapsing beneath you. Now there is a barrier in front of you if you want to try and grab one.
I think I'll kind of stumble and reach out with one hand kind of desperately.
Okay, so what I'll have you do for that would be a let's say athletics.
Athletics, okay.
You're not unathletic. You are quite you are quite the, I wouldn't say health nut, but you look after yourself, isn't it? So
okay. Plus 11. Right. Okay, so that's a 30.
30, no. Yeah. You manage to grab a hold, as it comes down. It's like the gymnastic bars. You know, except for now that there's a man melting the floor beneath you. There's someone who appears to be causing the river itself to be spitting water everywhere. And at the moment you touch those bars, there's a searing pain as the burning hot bars suddenly grip into your, sizzle when they touch your hands.
Oof.
Now you've got a high enough athletics there that I think I'll say you manage to hold on, but as you do that, there is a chance that this might damage you.
Fair enough.
Roll me I think it would be a toughness aspect in order to continue. Fortitude, shall we say? Same thing. So that allows you to hold on to this bars. As the metal itself, you can feel your palms cooking.
Yep, I'm kind of gritting through the pain.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna see if I can hold on. That's a 4.
Describe to me how you fall.
I think my hand kind of tightens for a moment on the bar, and then the pain just becomes too much. And I let go and kind of slide down the bubbling rubble, kind of searing along my jeans as I go.
Yeah.
Just letting out a sound of just panic.
You realise as well as you hit the water that you've just burnt your hands. It's going to be damn near impossible as you hit this freezing water. That you basically almost immediately have a moment of shock because you hit the burning hot rock beneath you, slide down it, coat yourself with more of these burns, and then just get dumped into a freezing cold river.
Yep.
And
Probably
then
worse for wear.
And then a hand grasps at you. And then you see the ball of fire. But it's not coming from the hand that's holding you. There's a blur of movement, and and there's a blur of movement, and you just feel yourself being dragged through. That's the thing. You've been pushed around sometimes. It's but this is insane. You just everything goes black for a moment, and then you're okay. You're in the city. You're There's a figure that's standing over you. Now, would you like to describe how your predecessor looked?
Yeah, okay. So, kind of the classic, like, spandex, full body suit, done up in, like, dark greens and greys, with, lightning kind of worked through the uniform down the arms in spiraling patterns, until the gloves kind of end in all yellow. You can't see much of her face. It's obviously a woman, but can't really make out fine detail behind the mask.
At the moment, she is a bit worse for wear. It appears that in the moment where she reached out and grabbed you, it looks like there was at least one attack that got through. Because, as far as you're aware of heroes, and you've seen heroes before, they've been around since the World Wars, they shouldn't usually be bleeding from the mouth. And they shouldn't usually be sporting quite that big of a burn mark up their side. She's braced against a wall beside you, and she's laughing, of all things. This low, bubbling laugh that's... And she raises her hand and wipes her mouth with the yellow gauntlets that she's wearing and stares down at the streak of red that's coating it. She leans back for a moment and then turns towards you and kind of seems to be eyeing you up for a moment, like giving you this... Does she wear goggles, or can you see her eyes?
I think you can see her eyes. Yeah, just like cold and blue and just staring.
Staring like straight at you, just... Basically, you can tell that she's just about standing upright at this moment. Her figure just, she's very, very injured right now. She raises a hand and she points directly at you, and she lets out a little bubbling chuckle again, and then just kind of approaches you like very, very slowly. What would you do as she's kind of...
I think at this point I'm knocked on my ass, kind of deer in headlights, wide-eyed. I'm gonna maybe try and scramble to my knees, try to get up, maybe fail, like the shock of the ordeal kind of overcoming me for a moment.
Oh, it's quite difficult to get up as well at the moment with your burnt hands. That's you can see it's left quite a few marks along the edges where some quite serious burns have occurred on your hands. She kind of... It's almost like she tries to lean down to help you up. She puts a hand on your arm, and you can feel this kind of tug as she tries to lift you to get you back on your feet. But the moment she does, she collapses to her knees, just thudding down onto them in the this alleyway that she's managed to drag you both into.
What the hell? What? gonna stare at her, kind of lost for words. Grab at her as she kind of like sways a little bit.
She raises that hand again, the one not holding onto your shoulder, and just one eye isn't even opening. It's swollen shut from. It looks like a mixture of a previous burn, a punch. There's claw marks on that face. Whatever that is nasty been attacking her, but the other eye is staring deep into your soul as she kneels in front of you, and she coughs again and then goes, You be good. And then she slumps against you.
I'll kind of grab her around the shoulders and just lean into it so she doesn't fall over.
There is a moment as you grab her around the shoulders. It feels like someone just put 10,000 volts through your arm. But it also doesn't feel painful. You can feel the power, this lightning that was throwing from her. You just feel it as this dying woman, this lightning from her just fires directly into you. And you can't move this arm. The moment this happens, the hand clenches up on her shoulder, on her arm, wherever you're grabbing her, it just tenses, and you grip on tight, and you can't let go. You can't let go as an eternity seems to pass. Literally an eternity. Time seems to slow around you as you watch as a single drop of blood just drops from her lips, and very slowly this little ruby red, like jewel in the darkness, glowing in the light of the lightning that's firing up your own arm. As it falls from there and it catches, and the lightning just seems to sparkle around it for a moment, then it hits the floor, and then so does she.
I think at this point I'm kind of like gasping for air.
Oh yeah.
As if I've just been dunked underwater, just like keel over to the side, kind of hands and knees, ignoring the pain of the burns for a moment as I just like kind of gasping.
It was incredible. It wasn't painful, but it was not nice, but you have no idea what's just happened to you. You've got quite bad burns over a large part of your body because of the falling down against the liquid slop, and she's not moving.
I'll kind of reach a hand out to her and kind of shake her. Hello?
She's not moving.
I'll turn her over so she's kind of staring up and check her pulse.
The eyes are open. The mouth has stopped bleeding, but that generally happens when someone doesn't have a pulse.
Shit.
You're down an alleyway. You're not exactly sure where you actually are in the city at the moment. You were just by the riverside, so...
Do any of the buildings kind of seem familiar? Like, is looking up, like, are they tenement buildings? Am I,
no.
like shop fronts or?
You seem to be down an alleyway of two very tall places. It's a good place to hide. That's the thing. You're basically hidden from every direction except for the front and the back. You'd have to take a step outside to be able to see what's going on.
I think I'll reach down and kind of hug her mask away. Kind of fixated on her for a moment.
This is a woman you've never seen before. I mean, you recognize the uniform. She's been around a few times. She was a plucky hero, but you don't know this woman. She's not famous. She's not, lauded for what's going on. She's just a person.
I think at that moment I'm probably going to push myself to my feet and kind of try and stumble towards the entrance to the alleyway, just screaming, "Help! Anybody, please! Please! Help!"
What time of night was this? Sorry.
Somewhere 8-9 p.m.
And 8-9 p.m.
Later.
So there is a few people around. As you come out, you realize that you're pretty near the middle of the city. It's a hell of a way to go, and you can see, like, that there is a hospital just about 3 blocks down the road, but I know she couldn't get there. She couldn't get you there. She couldn't get herself there. Maybe if she hadn't been holding you, she would have gotten there in no time. But she brought you with her. You're getting a crowd almost instantly. And people avoided you at first, and then a few who recognize the smell of burning flesh, and someone who finally has some kind of moral responsibility in the city stops. They kind of approach you, and that you can see they're cautious. You've just come out of this alleyway, and God, you look a mess. There's no easy way of saying it. You look absolutely just, your clothes are ragged, burnt, and smeared with liquid rock. Your hands are just burnt, and you smell of burnt hair, burnt flesh, burnt clothes. If you had a bag on you, there's basically burnt plastic in there as well. They approach you, and you see them kind of keeping a little bit back, and are you okay?
I need it. There's a hurt. The super. She's dying. There's a super in the alleyway. She's. Oh God. Oh God. Help!
He kind of he pauses and then drags his phone out, and are you hurt? And they're approaching you, and kind of finally grabs onto your arm and holds the sleeve down, kind of thing, which is difficult because there's a moment where you feel a tug, and some of the skin, which did melt and fuse onto that clothing.
Just shrieking.
You can see them go, "Oh God, oh!" And he's kind of he's got the phone in hand, and he's having difficulty like figuring what to do, but people are gathering now, and they're starting to realize what's going on, that something terrible has happened, especially as like there's now blood just pouring from that wound where the guy trying to help just basically ripped your skin off of that section. And how would you like to end this moment?
I think just shaking. Just like shaking in front of this guy, kind of on my knees. Just a wreck.
And one of the worst parts, perhaps, you notice that they're all gazing at you, they're all watching you, and not a single person has gone back into that alleyway. They're all trying to help you. They don't even seem aware of her back there.
And then I pass out.
Yeah.
I think too much. Yeah.
As you pass out, you come to. It's been quite a time. later. Your burns healed miraculously quickly. That's what they've said. Have you been seeking therapy?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah.
Did this happen to you with Jade? Did this happen to you before or after you moved out of your parents' place?
Probably after. So I would have been heading home across the river.
True.
Kind of lonely. Yeah.
So, at the very least, you've been able to avoid some awkward questions there. It concerns you. They usually supers. I don't know. It seems it's a bit off, but usually there is something about them when they die that, they get martyred, they get turned into a hero, and you didn't really hear that about Jade. I believe their character was before, or sorry, no. What was their name you mentioned?
Heavenstrike.
Heavenstrike. Yes, you didn't really hear that about Heavenstrike. Perhaps a mention in a newspaper about them dying, but nothing really there. It's it's almost a shame.
No news story. Yeah, just.
It's been a while now. You've learned of your powers. It's wasn't exactly an easy transition, as you find you within the first couple of weeks, certainly you've probably blown out more TV controls than you've ever done in your life. As you touch on, the batteries explode. That was a very difficult conversation with the parents. As a so how have you been living at the moment?
Probably very unsure of myself. Kind of keeping everything very uptight. Not going into school, just staying at home. Maybe moving around the neighborhood, but kind of keeping it very, very quiet and kind of exploring these powers slowly. Kind of afraid of my own shadow.
Certainly, there's been some extreme moments where you decided that you wanted to try and test how fast you could run, and I believe from your power profile, you probably wound up somewhere in India.
Yeah, somewhere halfway across the country, before I could even blink.
Yes.
Brain just running on autopilot. Just the middle of nowhere, the boonies, just fields as far as the eye can see. Not a car in sight.
Yeah. Welcome to Ohio sign. Just.
Yeah. It's, perfect.
Yes, it's astounding and terrifying at the same time, really, as you realize what you were given. There's no real other way to describe it, is there?
No.
It's
it was a moment of necessity on her part, but I was the only one who was there, and now here I am, and I don't even know what I'm doing most of the time. So,
are you still working at the conservatory at the moment? It's they have offered you, due to the nature of these kind of things, they've offered you to keep a part-time position as a nighttime, not guard, but observing the lab. To avoid. Well, the conservatory doesn't exactly have the most social environment to begin with, but it would effectively be just you there, And of course, you do still need to make money in the current time, so they're just extending the offer. Did you take it up with them, or?
Yeah. I think I would have after like the first week,
Mm.
kind of venturing out.
Oh yes, you would have had plenty of time. It's one of those things that they can't really call it bereavement, though it was certainly a traumatic period for you.
Yeah, just trying to process everything.
Yeah.
I think.
So,
So I'll probably head out after I get the message, accept the offer,
mm,
and probably on my first couple of days heading out, avoid the area, take the long way around, not returning to that part of the city, but the curiosity is kind of burning at me.
yeah.
The longer that I spend just avoiding this whole situation.
Yes, certainly. It's. I mean, if you wanted to go and pass something quickly, you don't even exactly have to blink for this situation. But yes, it's it's certainly you're entirely capable of avoiding that area, that place, and by the time you do see it, it's been repaired. The floor is no longer a puddle of burning slop. There's no longer any signs that any fight came down here. It's it's amazing how quickly they repair things sometimes.
How quickly people forget.
Yes, indeed. It's amazing how quickly they forget things. So today is one of the days where you do have like the evening to basically next morning shift down the conservatory. You've probably woken up late considering you're doing night shifts. What would you like to do in the day as your general day-to-day activities?
So over the course of the night, probably see if I can catch up on some of my reading, for kind of school and make sure everything's in order in the lab, and then assuming no one's around, just dash through the halls, kind of trying to get a handle on my top speed, like trying not to overshoot, kind of pacing myself. Just trying to get more comfortable in my own skin now that this thing has happened.
A leisurely jog in this situation, considering your top speed. It's confining yourself to one building is difficult, but you control it now. You feel like you actually have some influence over this thing. It's kind of strange how much there is like there is like this thing inside of you that seems to be giving you this. It's rather than it's that thing. It's how much you're able to control this power that was given to you.
Yeah, there's a fine control kind of beyond what I should be capable of, just as part parcel with the powers.
Yeah. So it's late when you get there to the conservatory. You pass by. There's several people still on the streets. I mean, it's not incredibly late, but this is a bit odd because they there's so they're basically those people who the surveyors and stuff like that, the people who will stop you and and try to sell you some old hokey whatever. Like, well, how do you react to those kind of people? Is it because one of them is bearing down on you right now?
Yeah, I think I just immediately start shaking my head and kind of making shoe noises with my head. Just I'm not buying anything today. Like I just kind of polite, kind of just trying to move past as fast as I can, just not engaging.
Yeah, they appear to be a like small, it wouldn't be a nice word, but dumpy would fit. Like a man who's trying to like stuff a pamphlet into your hand, and you catch a little glimpse of it. It's one of those stupid self-help ones, and
No. No.
The weird thing, is like it happens about 3 times on the way in, and just like they seem to be everywhere these days. It's you don't have too many times where you go outside, and for a walk around the city. It's either testing the powers or going to work and such, but they do seem to be increasing in number these days. Your manager is there when they arrive. They're kind of sitting there and idly, you've got your own keys to get in. You have your pass card because it's actually a semi-secure building, since it is related to the university.
Yep.
Your manager is you've known worse people, but they certainly are on tenure. Let's just place that and put that as their main description there. He appears to be sitting there, and despite himself, he's got a glass of something that's amber and smelling quite strong, sitting on the desk. It is at least 9 o'clock, so and he's flicking at a bobble-headed hula girl that's sitting on his desk.
Of course, yeah.
He's wearing the that's the thing. The conservatories can be quite warm, quite humid, so he's literally in the Hawaiian t-shirt with his hula girl, shorts. He looks like he's on holiday. He's basically slightly off of having sun cream on at the moment. So he kind of pauses, and he lets the hula girl like bobble one last time as they're watching you, and hello, Ben.
Hi. Are you up to much tonight?
Oh, I'm just handing over to you. I'm afraid it's just you on again tonight.
Right. Okay.
How's the? He is one of the professors, so he gives you this look. And how's the work coming on?
I'll kind of push my glasses up and rub at my eyes with the palm of my hand, just kind of. Yeah, it's going. Keeping me busy at the very least. I'm hoping I can get some done tonight as we kind of go along.
That's good. That's good. Don't want to fall behind. You're a bright young thing, Ben. And he takes a swig from his glass and then says, yes, and opens a drawer, pulls out a bottle, and offers you some.
No, I'm good, thanks. Long night ahead. I can't help.
Well,
if I've been drinking.
This is going with me. So he tucks it, like he opens a bag and basically just tucks it in there. There's a slight clinking noise as it hits other glass. Like he zips the bag closed and right, okay, we're doing the general thing tonight, so we'll just go over the usual stuff. It's nothing special. We're just observation as usual. And so he kind of goes over the basic stuff that you usually do for this, this thing of like making sure that this stays within the certain temperature, keeping an eye on the humidity levels, the usual things that you've done 100 times already.
Yeah.
And he does actually take a pause though and like place a hand on your shoulders. Like, you sure you're up to this, Ben? I know it's, you've been through a lot.
I, I think this is good for me. I think it feels good to be doing something, Professor, and I really appreciate you guys putting me on here. It's helped. It has helped.
Yeah, so I'm just worried that you're going to go and make yourself a recluse. And he lets out a little laugh and kind of gently pokes you in the belly with intended niceness. he's one of those gentle people.
Yep.
Who's but
falls a little flat.
Yeah. So well, we don't exactly, it's not the climate for hermits, as they say. So he seems to be sitting there a little awkwardly. Right. Yeah. So if there's anything, give me a call. Also, there's this other number, and he kind of hands over this, this other number on a post-it note. Like, in case I don't pick up, he came in once before, and he was not in a state.
Okay.
I
don't.
Don't worry, but I trust you to be able to handle whatever happens down here. It's I'm sure it'll be all right. No big problems. But and he kind of pauses and starts to pat in his pockets, kind of thing. You see a small, like, one of those mini bar bottles.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them kind of pops out of a pocket for a second before you go, oh no, not in there, and kind of tucks it away, and eventually he's like, oh, I received this as well, I just in case. And one of those goddamn self-help pamphlets gets put on the table.
Thanks, Professor.
They say they have. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I'll kind of take it and just hold it by my side, not even really looking at it.
I'm just saying that they have 24/7, self-help call line. If you need to talk to someone, it can get lonely. It can get lonely. I'm not going to pretend it doesn't get lonely down here. I mean, I've got Betty for my company, and he pings the bobblehead again. And but it's something in case you need it. In case I don't know. He looks a bit. He looks a bit awkward.
I appreciate it, Professor. I'll take a look in a little bit. Okay. I just want to get everything kind of ready. We've got to sign you out and make sure the doors are all locked.
Yes. Yeah.
And then I'll take a look.
I'll do that. Don't you worry. I'll do that. You make yourself comfortable. Bag of donuts in the third one down. It's on top of the term papers. Don't worry. They're not jam. So, I'll head off. I'll sign myself out. I've done it so many times before.
Yeah.
You just get comfortable. All right.
I will do, Professor. Yes. Absolutely, and I'll be sure to read this. Yep. Yeah. Sure. Yep.
Just your mum gave us a call. We told them you're doing fine. So, just he kind of pauses and then gives like an awkward thumbs up. Like, it'll be all right. Yes.
Two thumbs up back. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Lovely. It's I'm going to head off then. You call if you need anything, he says as he heads out the door.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you do, like almost immediately upon him leaving?
Yeah, I think the moment the door closes, I take the self-help pamphlet, roll it up into a ball, and then try and throw it in the bin from across the room. Yeah.
Would you like to zap it as well with your lightning powers?
Yeah. It goes kind of slowly, and then as it releases from my finger, there's just a jump of static, and it just jumps across the room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You basically just like throw it, and it sets on fire on the way over the room.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so just because I want to have another roll, give me a lightning roll. That would be a +7 to a d20
Okay.
to hit them with the lightning shot.
Uh-oh.
Well, that's the thing. You're not. You're not exactly that bad that you can't do it, but there's a moment where it you throw it, the paper sets on fire as it goes across the room, and just it lands in the waste paper basket, and then there's a moment of as the entire waste paper basket goes up. What would you like to do?
I think I'll kind of look around desperately, and then remembering for a moment where the fire extinguishers are from the last time I've been here, just like zip off to wherever the closest one is. Unhook it, zip that.
The speed that you go, there's not even a chance for this fire to get out. You disappear from the scene, reappear with a fire extinguisher, and just... There's plenty of fire extinguishers around. It's a place full of plants. They need to make sure there's not going to be any fires. So, it's unfortunately it appears that this one has already been opened previously. You're fairly sure that you can just picture your professor like in one of those chairs with wheels on, going down the corridor.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah. Flash to that.
Yeah, flash to that.
Flashback to the fire extinguisher. I just put it down. Glasses come off, and I'm just rubbing my eyes with my fingers. Just.
Dear. It's Okay, so you said you're going to test yourself a little bit when you're going around there.
Yeah, I think just fine control. So. Running at a very, very decent speed, trying to do corners, trying to like go through doors quickly without like hitting walls, basically. Yeah.
I would like you to roll me an acrobatics or athletics, depending on what you prefer. You won't really fail this unless you get like a 1, but even then, it's like this is. You've got your powers. You know how to use your powers. This is just kind of refining yourself a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. Just kind of getting comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll athletics.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a 12 with a nat 1.
With a nat 1.
With a nat 1.
Yeah. What's it the nat 1s?
Yeah, I don't know. Setting fire to buildings. It's my special power.
You do seem to be having some difficulty, like getting that difference between your speed and your lightning. Every time you go fast enough, there's a crackle and something shoots out, and then you keep having to leave and go get the fire extinguisher again.
Yeah. I'm not entirely comfortable around it. Like the fire is kind of bringing back bad memories. Of not so long ago. So it's kind of. Every time it happens is another nail in the coffin, it's really putting me off.
Yeah, It does seem like it only happens a few times, but it's enough that I wouldn't say you're shaken, but it's not aiding your feeling of control, where every hour or so after some running, when you go a little bit too fast, you have to go get the fire extinguisher. And thankfully, none of the plants get set on fire, because you're not going to be the kind of person who's doing it around certainly sensitive items in the conservatory. You're just doing it in a as an isolated environment as you can.
Yeah, sticking to the main corridors where, like, if a few things go wrong, it should be okay.
Yeah, the most things that you've set fire to are like, items of like is it just me or does every office have that like broken chair that they sit outside of the actual office space?
Yep. So the sad chair. Yep.
Yeah, the sad chair that like sometimes gets brought inside when the people actually run out of chairs, and then someone has to balance on them. Even though it's missing like 2 wheels, kind of thing. Honestly, you pause and you look at it, and you look at the corridor, and you just get that image of your professor going weep, and then the wheels flying off.
Yeah.
As from the extinguisher incident.
Yeah.
That was yeah. They at least they didn't blame you for that one. But yeah, then so you just occasionally have to put the chair out as it gets steadily more burnt every time you go past it, and there's like a because it's like the most flammable thing you go past, effectively.
Yeah. Yeah. And it just it's starting to get all scorched and nasty. The plastic's beginning to melt. Yeah.
It's one of those things though of like your professor's seen this. He knows that it's kind of getting mangled and melted, and every time that happens, and as far as he's aware, this is just your kind of way of lashing out a little bit.
Yeah.
You're having problems, and you keep setting this chair on fire. At least it's the broken one.
Yeah, at least it's the sad chair. No one's getting hurt.
Yeah.
The kid needs an outlet.
Exactly. So he's kind of just letting this one slide. As useless as he is, he's still not as bad. But so yeah, he's so you've managed to do this. Do you do this all the night, or like?
I'd say like into the morning hours.
So
and then
about 1 o'clock. When do you stop?
Yeah, I reckon about that time would make sense.
What do you do around that time?
I probably stop and go to grab a donut. Just really carefully lift them off of the term papers. And just quickly like sneak a peek, like for which classes are these term papers? Like
these ones appear to be for chemistry.
Okay.
Advanced chemistry. There's some biological chemistry after all, so they tend to get some of the different people to come in and grade them, and your professor's the only one who's known to grade with a smiley face still. So, but yeah, it's it appears to be actually. Which year are you? First, second?
Probably second year, like in the thick of it. Yeah.
I was going to say they're probably first year papers, because he is at least not an idiot enough to leave your own papers kind of
in the office. Yeah.
But
I think if that's the case,
yeah,
first year papers, I'll grab a donut, sit down, grab out a notepad, and just speed read them all, taking notes as I do, like kind of marking them myself, on just a notepad. It's just keeping the brain sharp.
It's good. I'd say that since it's like your actually roll me an intelligence.
Yep. So
because this isn't like entirely your kind of thing, but a treatment. Actually, make it a treatment. Because that would be related to your kind of thing. But
field, yeah. Okay.
It's like it's not entirely your thing, but you're quite the bright spark. No pun intended. And and you could probably make some sense of this stuff.
I can give it a go. Yeah. I think. Okay, so so that's gonna end up 1d20 plus 6.
Yep.
And rolling that up, it's a 14.
Okay. Now, if you give me a second, I'm going to. Well, okay. You've managed to mark it. You've got a pretty good bunch this year. Like, they seem somewhat intelligent. There's always a few bad apples, but it's that thing of they seem to be going quite well. So you've kind of gone through the stack in, let's be honest, probably like 20 minutes, and that's taking it slow for you.
Just not too long for sure. And I think I'll just be sitting there, kind of a smile on my face, slowly munching on a donut. Yeah, it's good.
Roll me a perception.
Okay. Yep. So that's a 15.
15, and I will. Give me a sec. Yes, you appear to just be having a normal, regular night. It's nothing major going on. Oh, I need to roll for. There we are. Yes, having a regular, a 22 and a 9. You appear to be having a regular kind of night. Nothing too major, but that's a noise. It's not the humidifier coming on again. You know that sound. There's noise, certainly. It's down near the back.
I'll get up and kind of stroll that way. I'm not, speeding around anymore. Just kind of taking my time.
Yeah, you do. Are you just heading down there regularly?
Yeah. I think I'll just kind of moving a little bit faster than a walk, but not rushing.
Okay. By the time you arrive, the area where you kind of heard roughly the sound coming from, it's a small part of the conservatory at the back. It tends to be where people are growing herbs and similar aspects, like nothing major. It tends to be a low maintenance area, which is probably why people seem to have broken in from here. It's you didn't hear glass breaking, but there's glass everywhere in the flower beds, and 2 sets of footprints. Yes, 2.
Okay.
They appear to be muddily trailing off down the corridor, deeper into the actual environment. But it's kind of difficult to tell because they do, like, the mud trails off quite quickly. They only just step through a little bit, so.
Okay. Then I'll speed up a little bit and rush down the corridor, kind of following the footprints.
Okie doke. Would you be willing to actually? You know what? You probably catch up to them in no time. That's the thing. Like.
Yeah.
Around, and so when you do spot these 2, you see a man who about 5'4" and probably about as wide. You have to say, like,
yeah,
he's got shoulders like a brick shithouse, and he's like got a crowbar that he's attempting to apply to this to what appears to be your professor's door, and he's like trying to just creak it open as quietly as possible. And there's another one there that's about 6'7", lanky as anything, and has the most noticeable thing about them is that they appear to have a very large scar across their neck. Like straight across kind of thing, as if someone recently slit their throats. And the shorter one is certainly is speaking. So, like, I don't know what we're doing in here. And what would the boss want to summon the goddamn plant place? Was he after begonias? Come on, Smiles, laugh. They don't appear to have noticed you at the moment because they're working on the door, and you came from behind them, which they aren't expecting.
I'm gonna step out and kind of call out to them, "Hey, what are you doing there? You're not supposed to be in here."
And they kind of both look up like, shit, Smiles, I thought you said this place wasn't guarded. They both kind of pause, and then the hitman kind of holds up the crowbar and just stares at you like, "Hey, you don't look like no guard. You back off now, or I'm gonna have to get violent."
I don't think I will. Get out of here. This is my job. I'm here to look after the place. You're in here with a crowbar. I can call the cops. They'd be here pretty quick.
Oh, you asked for it then. And he actually starts coming towards you. I was like, I want to do this I want to do this the night way. Just you remember that. As he approaches you, and like crowbar raised kind of moment, I believe it's then initiative.
Okay.
Let's see.
First combat of the game.
First
Cool.
combat. I wanted to give us a little bit of a taste, as to say.
Yes.
There we are.
Right. Okay, so rolling up 1d20 plus 25.
Yes. These guys have +2, so you're a bit, a bit gonna. Oh, and you got natural goddamn 20.
First nat 20.
Okay.
Oh,
I will
lovely.
let you get 2 moves off for that nat 20.
Oh, awesome.
Because I
Awesome.
always like to do that for nat 20s on initiative. So,
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna do something a little strange.
Okay.
So the first thing I'm gonna do is right. I'm gonna run back to the desk in the like the foyer, and I'm gonna grab my cell phone
Yeah.
and then run back,
Mm.
like in the time it takes to blink.
I'd say that you still have a simple action that turn because your run speed is so goddamn fast.
Okay, cool. And then I'm gonna take like I'm gonna let him come at me and do what he's going to do, but I'm gonna try and just dodge him when he does. Like when he strikes, I just want to move past him.
So I don't
think
know if
that's
it's and I don't know if it's a thing in this game, but should we say that's like defensive fighting where they have to re-roll their d20 like and take the load?
Yeah, I think it's like a prepared action or something. I don't actually have the thing up, but yeah. So just prepping a dodge, I suppose.
Prepping a dodge. So okay, he is going to come at you and swing that crowbar. He is at least using the blunt side. He's not apparently trying to instantly like down you and kill you. He is just
yeah.
He's trying to whack you on the head, kind of thing.
I guess I'll let you roll that up.
Okay.
That's how that works, right?
Yeah. So he's coming at you and he's going to swing, and I believe defender wins. Oh, and so I have to re-roll as well. So God, yeah. So he's pretty good. Like he's like for someone who looks a bit of a joke. He's swinging at you, but you just managed to get out of the way with that first roll of a 16. You've got a very high parry, so.
Yep. Okay, so like time slows down as the crowbar comes towards me, like just very, very slow. And I'm just gonna step kind of slightly to the side and just look at him as he kind of tumbles past me mid-swing.
Yeah, it's just like this big swing that he gave, just woof, and like, hey, you're not allowed to do that. Stop dodging.
I'm gonna hold up the phone. I've called the cops.
Smiles is kind of looking awkward, and then he's gonna instead of attacking you, like, would you like to do anything before Smiles? Or because otherwise it'll go back to you after Smiles.
Yeah, I think I'll just ring. What is an American 911?
911, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm gonna ring 911. And just connect it all. Like every time the operator comes up, I'll just press the button.
Yeah.
But so fast that they can't see it.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
Technically, wouldn't that be a stealth-related thing?
I think it would. Yeah. I think that makes sense.
So, do you want to roll me a stealth, just for them to not notice you?
Yeah.
Powers,
Absolutely. Sure. 14.
14. Okay, I'm gonna roll perception. These guys are quite good, so. Smiles appears to have clocked something with you. He's staring at you, and he has a moment, and then he kind of goes over and yanks really hard on the other guy's collar. It's like trying to, obviously pull him away, and like Mook, meanwhile, is just like, what kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I believe it's back to you again, actually.
Okay. Okay. I'm just gonna take like a couple of steps back and just be like, I don't want any trouble. Like, let's get out of here, guys. I don't want to fight.
He's bluffing, and Smiles yanks again, and it's like he kind of looks at you, and then kind of looks back at and he looks back at the door, and then he's going to try and bargain with you, and just we just have to one thing, all right? One thing, they'll take my goddamn knees, all right? Just let me take one thing.
That's not my problem, man. I have my job. I
he's
have what I have to do.
Yeah, he's annoyed, and he's like, ah! And comes swinging. Oh, God, that's a terrible one. Doesn't stand a goddamn chance with that 7. Smiles, though, he's going to, like, start hauling him back towards the way they came in. Eyeing you carefully, kind of thing.
I'm going to follow them at a distance, just kind of, like, phone held up in one hand. Just following.
So there's a thing, and Mook is like, he's like, what? Why are you dragging me, man? Like, to Smiles. And Smiles just kind of stops, pauses, like, straightens him up, and slaps Mook across the face. Like, ah! Alright, yeah, whatever. Right, we're done. We're done! And he points directly at you, like, we'll get this the hard way then. They go out through the hole in the glass as well. Like, they basically just go through there, and, you know, Smiles is, like, watching you as you watch them, and Mook is just like, oh, Jesus, God, why do you have to be, like, trying to fit through this broken glass, and, you know, just crunch his way through. It's like, look, next time scout properly, yeah? I thought he said this place didn't, like, hire guards or whatever. So they kind of, he gives you a dirty look, and he's like, you watch yourself, yeah? No one messes with Mook. And then he disappears off. Basically, because everything's glass, he says that, and then he has to walk past this, like, giant
past
window.
the glass, and we're just, like, staring at each other through the glass. Just, I can see his mouth moving, but there's no sound coming out. Because,
he's just mumbling to himself the entire way down, and Smiles just kind of looks at you, and he's not moving for a moment, and he's just staring at you.
I'm just gonna frown, just glare at him. Is there some reason that you're not following your friend? Do you like the cops? Do you want to meet him?
He'll just kind of let out a nose, and then he's going to make a motion as if someone is walking, like, and he basically holds up his left arm as a platform, and he makes a walking motion across it with his, like, right hand, and then he just, like, clicks his fingers, points at you, and then heads out the hole. You
Shit.
Yeah, you've maybe drawn some attention there. So yes, they head off, and thankfully didn't manage to get into the well, wherever they were getting into. It appears to be your professor's office. He's had you in there occasionally, unless they're after a lifetime supply of gin. They're, you know, what the hell could they even be after?
Do I have the keys? Like, I've got keys to the conservatory, but do I have the keys to his room?
He would probably trust you with them, yes.
I might go and, like, after, like, 5 or 10 minutes pass and they don't come back, and you can, like, hear sirens in the distance, I might run over to his room, unlock it, and just open the door.
Yeah, there's pry marks all over there, so there's a bit of a difficulty getting the door open because they were crowbarring it, and that can mess up a door. Don't ask me how I know this. So yeah, you managed to get in. What would you like to do once you're inside?
Just look around. Like, is there anything that looks out of place, or Any conspicuous additions to the office since I've last been in here?
Roll me a perception.
Lovely. So that is a 23.
Ooh, that's good. Now, the first thing you do notice is that your term papers are currently sitting on the desk.
Yep.
So that he was doing those, but yeah, they've been locked away for safekeeping. Yeah, that does seem to be. You realize that one of the posters on the wall peels back. You can see the place where the tape has been peeled off the wall.
Adhesive.
Facebook, the adhesive has been peeled off the wall, and you can see the flecks of paint where they've come off. So yeah, the behind it is a safe.
Oh no. How heavy duty a safe are we talking? Is it big, human size, small?
It's a wall safe. It's not like a giant. It's not like a giant thingy safe, like a walk-in safe. It is just a wall safe. However, it does appear obviously to have been provided by the company, because you don't know too much about your professor, but you do know that he probably wouldn't have had a proper, heavy duty refrigerated, you could tell because it's cool to the touch, safe put into the wall kind of thing. It seems like he was pre-installed.
Yeah. You can't mess with your own office that much, even if you have tenure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay. What I might do then, again, the sirens in the distance, just kind of weighing on me. I'm gonna use my what's it called? I'm gonna use my super speed, right?
Yeah.
To try and cycle through as many combinations as I can as quickly as I can.
I like it.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna bother listening to the lock click or anything. I'm just gonna cycle through
as many as possible.
As many as I can.
Let's see.
Many different combinations.
What should we have for that one? I'd say even with this is a difficult one. So even with your super speed, should we? And you're on a time limit because of the siren. Should we say investigation?
Yep. Investigation is fine. I don't actually have any ranks, so it will just be a flat D20, which I think is probably fair.
D20 plus 2.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Right.
I believe, yes.
So, yeah. No, you're right. So 11 is the.
You don't really make any headway with it, unfortunately. It's you it is kind of at least not alarmed, but it's you kind of start clacking in the combinations, but with so many different combinations, I will give you, with your super speed, 2 more tries.
Okay.
Because you've got super speed, and I should reward you for that.
Yeah, my character creation took a lot of effort.
Yeah.
I mean, it does in this system.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Right. It's a 13 and a 12.
Yeah.
It's not much better.
Unfortunately, you're not even sure what number to start with, kind of thing. It's and those sirens, anytime you try to hear closer. The even listen in, it's the siren's getting closer in a moment, and you also kind of realize that you've left your fingerprints all over this guy's office now.
Yeah,
you do have his keys. So
I'll paste the poster back in place.
Yep.
And then get to the foyer as quickly as I can.
Okay, there is one police car sitting out front.
Okay. So I'll unlock the door and let them in and kind of call them in. Or up to the door at least.
Hello there. Oh, hey there. We got a little call about a robbery, was it?
Yeah. So I'm hello. I'm Ben, and I kind of hold out my hand.
she doesn't take it. she
Okay. I'll
she
just
doesn't
kind of
know, like-
sheepishly
yeah.
just roll at my face. So I work here. Just as like, we need someone here to look after the place at night, and I study nights, so it seemed a pretty smart thing. Some guys they broke in through a panel towards the back of the place, and they were trying to break into one of the professor's offices, and I managed to scare them off. Yeah.
Oh, do you happen to have any identification on you? Just
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's on the desk. Do you mind if I go and grab?
Oh, I'll come with you. I'll come with you.
Okay. I'll kind of open the door wider and step back inside, head over to the desk, and grab my wallet, student ID, hand that over.
And she kind of looks through the two of them, and she gets out the police phone, takes a photo of both, and is like, thank you very much. If you'd mind, you said they broke in. Can you show me over to where they went?
Yeah, sure. This way. Yeah, and I'll just start walking past the horrifically mangled old chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, down the hallway towards where it is.
Oh, were they attempting arson? They go past.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's it's kind of an office joke. I wouldn't worry about it. It's fine. Just come on. It's just down here. It's just down here.
Okay, you lead the way.
Kind of like nervously shifting on my feet as I walk.
So you take down to the office, like
to the way they got in first.
Oh, the way they get down to go in first, and
yeah.
Oh, that does seem like a little bit of a mess. I suppose you probably need to put a tarp up or something. I'll take some photos. You call whoever you need. Do all that kind of stuff. I'll just start taking some photos, and she does notice like the boot prints in the floor, and you do see that she looks at your feet, and then she kind of goes, okay, it's not him. It really was someone else, kind of thing. It's like, oh, you look quite big. You did well for scaring them off.
There was. I mean, one of them was huge, but I think it was more the threat of you guys coming that scared them than me. I'm just just some guy.
Oh,
there were two of them.
Oh, we are quite the intimidating presence, she says. Obviously, they did not send their roughest and toughest round for the conservatory. Yep. But so she starts taking photos of their kind of thing, and then pulls out a little like cordoning off a crime scene kind of moment, and we'll probably need to have a little look at this in the morning and see if broken glass does catch blood, so we'll want to see if we can catch these guys for you. Did they take anything?
I don't think so. I haven't actually had time to check, but they were trying to break into an office just down the hall. I can show you if you'd like.
Oh yeah. Yes, I'll just I'll come back to cordon off. Please lead the way.
Okay. Do you mind if I make a call? Like, I'm supposed to call the professor if anything goes wrong. Do you mind if I just do that?
Is it his room?
It is his room. Yeah.
Yeah, but that would be good. If we can get him down for questioning, that would be great. Just to have a little chat, see why they might have popped by.
Okay, the door's just down there, and I'll just point down the hall. I'll just quickly, and I hold up the phone and I'll just take a call, and then I'll be right with you. Yeah.
Okay. See you soon, dearie.
And then I ring him up.
Okay.
Yeah.
It rings and rings and rings, and like, hey.
Professor?
He's like sounds disappointed. It's like, just, yeah. Ah. Oh, yeah.
I,
What is it?
there's been a break-in.
Oh, shit. Okay. I mean, are you okay? Oh God, are you okay?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. They scared the guys off, but the police, the
Sorry.
police, they
Oh,
want you to come down. Yeah, they
I'll get
want
a
you.
cab. I'll get a cab. I'll be down in
Okay,
a moment.
how long are we? Like, how long till you,
I'll
you know?
Okay. I need to wait for a cab, so like half an hour. Like I'll be down soon. I need to.
Okay,
Uh, yeah. Oh God. So you hear him kind of getting out of bed, kind of thing, and it's like,
mhm.
okay, okay,
Okay.
okay.
See you soon.
And then he hangs up.
Uh, yep, yep.
so, so she's down the hall in front of the door. And did you lock up after you left?
Yeah,
Or
yeah. I would have locked the
yeah,
door. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. So I'll
yeah.
just approach. Kind of.
So she's rubbing her chin like, oh, you have your own keys then.
Yeah, yeah. They're just here, and I'll just pull out the keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she has a moment of like so if you be, would you willing to open the door, or are we gonna wait for the professor?
Isn't that like, isn't that like disturbing evidence or something? Like they've clearly had a go at the. Do you want me to? Okay.
Well,
Yeah, sure. If you
I
think
mean,
that's the right thing to do.
they kind of crowbarred the door. There's not too much evidence. It's not like we can go, oh, it's this crowbar which belongs to this guy.
Oh,
You know,
oh, oh.
it's
I
good to
just, yeah,
be able
I
to
mean,
see.
you know,
You know.
yeah. Stupid question, I suppose.
No, no,
I'll,
no. Hey, kid, and she kind of pats you on the arm, like you've been through a lot tonight. You know, a lot of people when their places get robbed, they panic. You know, you did the right thing and you called us, and hey, you scared them off. You did a good job.
I'm kind of getting sick of people telling me that I've been through a lot lately. Sorry. Yeah, no, I'll open the door. Yeah, the door.
Yeah,
I'll get out the keys and open it up.
and she pops in. She has a little little look around and just like rubbing her chin, like any idea what they might be after?
I've no clue. The professor, like, there's students in here all the time. Like, they could have just. I don't know. Like I don't know what he's working on right now, but like, he's just a professor. Like, there's term papers on the desk. Yeah, I don't know.
Have you? Do you know if he's up to anything? I mean, I'm not saying bad. Just if he's up to anything new, interesting. A lot of stuff happens in this city, so you know, best and brightest all down here. Is he the best and brightest?
I mean, he has a terrible sense of fashion, but other than that, he's harmless. He's really, really well natured. Yeah.
Oh, I'll go. You know, I'll go cordon stuff off. We'll deal with it when he gets it. You said he's getting here, right?
Yeah, yeah. He said like half an hour. Like, you got to get a cab, and you know how it is. It's late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'll go. I'll go deal with that. We'll see each other again when when he comes in. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
So she does. She pops off to go, cordon off the area that's got the broken glass and kind of start looking for a few more clues, kind of thing. But yeah. So is there anything you want to do before the professor gets there, or just waiting on him?
I think I'll probably head back to the foyer and just like sit down, have a donut, cry. Yeah.
So he does arrive, and he's wearing a crumpled Hawaiian shirt now, as he's basically pulled his stuff on, and like he walks into the door at first, and then kind of stumbles back, and then just puts his ID on the scanner and wanders in. Like, Ben, someone broke in.
Yeah, yeah. It's been a really long night. There were two guys, cops, down the hallway.
Ugh.
I
Hey,
yeah.
do you want to knock off for the night? And he kind of pats you on the shoulders, like, it's if you want to knock off, that's fine. Like, you've already kind of protected the place.
Do you think that's okay? Do you think she'll be fine with me going?
Well, give them your address. If they need to question you, then we'll go by tomorrow. So, then that'll be the important thing. Like, so, I mean, that's the thing. Is there anything you need to tell them today?
I can't really think of anything. It's all a bit much.
If there's, I'll tell them I sent you home. Have they got your address? Have they got everything that they need?
Okay, thanks, Professor. Do you know why they'd be trying to break into your office?
Oh,
That's just been bugging me all night.
I'm going to make a roll, and I need you to roll. What would
what
the
am I rolling?
insight? Shall we say
An insight. Okay, cool.
insight? So that's a +2.
Yes. That's an 11.
Yeah, 11 versus 21. He's can I?
Yeah.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know why someone come and break in down here. I mean, it's plants. I like plants, but yeah, I know.
Do you mind if I take the donuts?
Oh, go ahead, take them. They're like a day old anyway.
What?
Give me the keys. No, they're fine. They're fine.
I'll pass over the keys.
Yeah.
My jacket over one arm, pick up the box of donuts, and start heading out.
Yeah. I'll see you like tomorrow. We'll have a bit of a chat. Yeah.
Just call me. Just call me. You know my number.
Yeah. I'll call you. Hey, you did a good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he gives you a thumbs up, and then kind of sighs and heads towards the office, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you're free to do whatever you desire at this point.
I think I will probably head home.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, running by the place where I inherited my powers, roughly speaking, just because it's on the way, and that's kind of become the route that I take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just head home and open up and go to bed.
Your dreams are somewhat fitful, but at the very least, like the most recurring thing does appear to be smiles watching you. You kind of go through the regular stuff, not really nightmares, but like dreams. But then you'll kind of feel this prickling, and you'll look around, and there'll be smiles just sitting there and staring at you.
Yeah, that bloody scar.
Yes, big scar.
Yeah.
So in the morning, because for once you've had a semi-decent actual night's sleep. In the morning, it's take me through the morning first. What do you do in the morning?
Waking up. I mean, it'd be like mid-afternoon, right? Like night shift.
Yeah. It's like probably like noonish because you've actually gone back around 1. So if you actually had a rest up, it's like, oh great, there goes my sleep schedule.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Completely ruined. I kind of wake up a little groggily and then just like shuffle around the house. Like speedster shuffling around the house. So like I'm moving fast, but there's no like grace to it.
Yeah, yeah.
Getting coffee and cereal and just like the adrenaline rush has kind of got me down, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You do hear a knock at the door.
I'll get up in my like dressing gown, pajamas,
Okay.
kind of shuffle off to the door, holding my coffee, and open up.
What you might be expecting is a police officer to get your statement for last night. What arrives is a man in a wheelchair and a woman who is pushing him. And the woman is all smiles, you know, the kind of one that looks like she's smiling wide at the top of her head would fall off, and the man is pretty darn like miserable looking, just, you know, heavy brow, slight scowl, you know, as he kind of looks in and up at you, and they just go, "Hi, we're from the one of the local self-help groups," they say. So
I'm sorry. I don't. Is there any reason
we're doing
here?
a little round the place kind of a going out and meeting people in the community to see like what kind of, you know, things we can help people with. And there's a moment, and you realize that they've just kind of shoved the wheelchair into the door a little bit, enough that you probably couldn't close this door without, you know, knocking a man in a wheelchair over.
I mean that's nice, but it's what, like, God, it's 2 in the afternoon.
Ian,
Come in.
well, thank
I'll
you.
open the door.
Like it's like a grey-haired man kind of stares up at you for a moment, and he gets wheeled inside, and we're both from the One True Path. We're here to help anyone who needs it, you know. So we were wondering what kind of help that you needed. And as she's talking, the guy in the wheelchair is kind of he's gripped over the wheels, and he's kind of wheeling himself around, having a little look at the where you live. So describe to me like the general look of. I know you live in a very old townhouse that belongs to your parents.
Yeah.
So
a lot of like big open rooms. No like electronics to speak of at the moment, for obvious reasons. But a lot of like a ratty couch in like the living room, couple of like ratty looking armchairs, open fireplace that's not being used. The kitchen is just kind of like the countertop, like the L-shaped thing with everything there, and it's all kind of a little bit dirty. There might be a couple of like unwashed plates and whatever else. It's not clean.
Yeah. It's like you could clean this in an instant, but you just kind of.
Yeah, just can't be bothered, you know. Like some things superpowers can't fix.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So he's kind of looking around, and how do you react to her?
I mean, I could use some help cleaning up around the place, but other than that, I'm doing pretty okay, thanks.
She gives a slight nod, and then she actually kind of reaches into a bag she's got to her side, like it's a big old like doctor's looking bag, and pulls out a pair of galoshes and says, "Well, I'm more than happy to help you there."
That was kind of a joke. Like I'm planning on getting to all of this. It was more a joke than anything else. Look, I don't think I got your names.
She's already kind of at the sink, and she's pouring some hot water, and she's kind of. I'm guessing it's like empty bottle of washing up liquid, and she kind of puts it down and pulls one out of her purse and pops it out. And, like, I'm Jane, and then this here is Malcolm. She kind of waves towards Malcolm, who is wheeling around the place and staring around and everything as she starts to scrub. It's like, we like to help out around the place, but mostly we like to help people help themselves, you know?
I mean, what? I guess I don't know.
What? Have you not seen our flyers? We've been on TV. And she looks around like, oh, you don't have a TV? That's very modern now.
Yeah. We had a TV, or I guess I had a TV, but went the way of the dinosaurs. There's not a lot I do around here other than work. What does Malcolm do? Like you're here cleaning. What is Malcolm?
Malcolm kind of looks over to you and like, I am here to assist. You know, so it looks kind of around the place and like, it's quite an old house, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a good like 60, 70 years.
Yeah, I
Been
was
redone.
just thinking how, a young thing like you, it doesn't do to hold on to the old. I find for young things like you, for ones with a chance, I'd say.
Yeah.
I'd say just doesn't do to hold on to archaic ways, don't you? Don't you think?
I mean, I'm not like averse to technology, but I don't need. I'm too busy really to be watching telly all the time. I don't know what you.
He kind of wheels in a bit closer to you and like staring rather intently, straight at you and like, oh, I just was thinking that maybe a nice place in the city might do you, like a bit nearer into town, like the kind of place where there's all the hip young people, where there's less of an old around you, less feeling of age. What do you think? Do you think it's important to hold on to the old, or do you think it's best to move in with the new? He's squinting at you quite hard right now.
And I don't think I'll be moving anytime soon, Malcolm.
We could help you with that. We have quite a few connections, quite a few people who are friendly with our group. Jane is kind of like happily humming away, like cleaning everything up, like shring massive butcher knife back into in the drying rack. But yes, and so Malcolm's staring at you, like, if you were to join us, perhaps. What say you? Malk? Uh-oh. Sorry, did you hear that?
I missed the end there. Sorry about that.
What say you?
This isn't actually my building. It's my parents' building, and I don't think I'll be moving anytime soon. But I appreciate the help, Jane. I think you might be done here, to be honest. Nice meeting you, Malcolm.
You should come join us tonight. You should join us at one of our readings.
Reading what?
Oh, of a book, a fine book. It's he kind of reaches down and like underneath his wheelchair and pulls out a surprisingly quite large book that's got him on the cover. He's smiling. It doesn't suit him, and it's kind of like the one true path. I am the author, but I just channel what is inside me, you know?
Yeah.
Do you know
sure,
of that?
Maybe I'll give it a read.
Being able to pull that influence from inside. And he's watching you very intently.
I'm just going to do my best to not give anything away, but I'm feeling very, like, nervous now. Very awkward.
Do come to our recital. It's a card in the back of the book.
Right. I take it there's times and all that. I don't have to.
Yes.
Are you guys online?
8 o'clock. We will be there.
Right.
So
I'll do my best. Yeah.
do make sure you show up. I need to make you roll a will save.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. So just 1d20 plus 2. That's a C, not a D. Try that again. 19.
Okay. Okay. Jane works goddamn quickly, and your washing is piled up, waiting to be dried. She moves behind Malcolm, almost drifting behind Malcolm, kind of thing, just grabbing hold of the wheelchair and like, Malcolm, I think we're done here. And he nods and yes, and I do hope you will come along, he says, casting you one more glance before she turns. Thank you. It'd be lovely to see you. And there, she says before they disappear out the door.
Yeah, I'll wave as they go. Mind the steps on your way down.
They seem to be having no problem traversing the steps. How did they get a wheelchair up here? It must have been a hell of a struggle.
Yeah, no, I'm just imagining like 30 minutes worth of trying to push up like a flight of stairs.
They were dedicated to getting here, it seems. So yes, what do you do with all that?
I think I probably am going to sit down and begin to read the book, my coffee to one side. And do you mind if we end there for today?
Oh, certainly.
Is that okay?
Yeah, we can end here. We've had a little bit of a thing, and yeah, we will come back to this then.
Lovely.
I do hope it was fun, and
yeah, no, it's good.
I hope that I have introduced some interesting threats to you.
Yeah, I have to get a little bit more comfortable, but I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
First time playing Mutants and Masterminds. It's good fun.
I hope I haven't entirely botched this. I am going to put this on YouTube, so if anyone knows if I have botched this, please do put in the comments. No one say if Malk's botched this, because Malk is lovely and is letting me do this. So,
I mean, I'd love to know. There was what was it we had trouble with in the middle there? It was
life
prepared action. Yeah,
prepared action.
That was the thing. Yeah, like we'll look that up after. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm about to stop the recording. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you as well.